What's good? What's up, you sons of bitch? Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, that'll do. That's normal. All right. So what's up? Today I'm gonna be talking about Undisputed. It's a boxing game. It's early access, and if you like combat sports or boxing at all, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. Right now, it's only available on Steam, so I'm gonna be playing it on there. I don't have a console, and if I did, I wouldn't be playing it on there either way. That's useful information for you. Right now it's on Steam for $30. I guess we're gonna go over if it's really worth it for that point because, yeah, we're just gonna get into it now. We're getting started. Hey, my name's Pop Malcolm, and today we're talking about Undisputed. Oh, I should have done that at the beginning. Some good things about the game. The graphics are good. They look really good. I'm using a RX 5700 XT, and I'm able to play it on high with no problems. There's, I guess, some minor optimization things you got to work out, but it's still early access. The controls are pretty good. I like the controls. They've pretty much just taken a page out of Fight Night's book and just made sure those controls are pretty much on par with that. They've kind of set the standard for boxing games. They're easy to remember because me no smart. I think the player models are all pretty good. They're all pretty accurate. I think the one thing I know is Ali was a little bit too skinny, I guess. He was a little bit more cut up than he should be, and they did adjust his weight on there, so they are actually working pretty fast on this. I mean, the game came out like a month ago. They've already had 4 updates, so that's another thing to keep in mind. It's good that if you're buying this early access and you're worried about the developers, they're pretty fucking active, man. They're doing shit. You know, even if it's small little things, they're actively doing shit, and they understand that this is now the time to prove it. They did a pretty good job with making overall the fighters unique as far as their actual style and their movements. They have a lot of nice animations in between other animations, how certain people will walk down whenever you do a jab and back up, the way they move, the way they lean. There's a lot of unique things in the game as far as the player models that are actually unique and specific to that one fighter. There's obviously some generic ones. I've seen some uppercuts and hooks on certain people are kind of generic to follow up, but overall the actual player models and the likeness of the people it's pretty good. There's some good and bad things about the leaning. I'm going to get into the good first. The leaning is pretty good as far as just being able to move out of the way of shots and doing it in a smart way. If you know a shot's coming and you lean in and you duck under it, around it, the game will actually do more of an animation to duck under the punch, and you got to follow up, because you can do the animation or do a smooth animation or a sidestep or one of these animations when you time something perfectly while moving in the right direction. It doesn't just happen automatically. You got to actually know what you're doing and trigger it. I think they did a pretty good job with that, and I'm sure there's more they're going to add to it. And overall, for the selection of fighters, I mean, they have a pretty good amount of fighters. They have a lot of weight classes. They have women's weight classes. It's a pretty good amount of fighters for the early access. They just released it, and I know there's going to be over 100, maybe even over 200 boxers. There's a pretty good amount right now. I don't know exactly how many. Yeah, I say anywhere from 6 to 12 or more fighters on each weight class. So it has a pretty good selection of people. They have already officially announced there's going to be fighters in the official game. There's going to be more boxers in the official game, and as the game comes out, so there's definitely something to look forward to there. Right now, if you want to fight with all of your favorite boxers, even the kind of more smaller known people or names that aren't as big, because they do have a lot of big names in the early access. If you're looking forward to play with every boxer and have all of them, and you're really into it, you might want to wait because they don't got everybody. So, and they got a lot of classic people, a lot of people who aren't even actively boxing or even alive right now. So there's also that. So that's a good thing, but it also can be whatever. This is pretty unique. Every game has had bleeding, cutting, swelling. This game has all of that. You take punishment to a certain side of your face, you're going to see swelling, you're going to see bleeding. It does a pretty good job of that. But there's one thing that's added to where you didn't really see in a lot of games is the face ripple. And if someone gets hit with a punch, and you kind of see that in other Fight Night games, Fight Night Champion, the face will kind of wiggle, but they've added it to where it looks more realistic, and that's a good thing. I think it's overall a good thing. I'll get to why there's some negative parts about it later, but it's overall pretty good. And you can punch somebody in the face and you can see them wiggle. It's interesting. Also for body shots, it does it too. But I'll touch on that more later because that's the good part. The good part, it's there, and that with today's technology, with graphics and everything else, you can actually make it look a lot better than it used to. So that's pretty cool. As far as good things, I mean, that's basically mostly everything that's good about the game itself. A lot of it is potential. A lot of it is knowing that it's going to get better. and knowing that as for right now, what they have in early access, these are what's good and what's kind of bad about it. And I feel like this is what we can accept right now because it's early access. That's the only thing that's really a saving grace for this game. If this was a full complete game at $30 for what's good about it, I don't know. But we're going to talk about more. The last really good thing I have to say, I like that Caldwell gym, the boxing gym, whatever. I think it's a really cool map. It has really good lighting. It really shows a lot of stuff about the game and just the way it looks, and the lighting looks really good. It looks really natural. I just think it looks good. It's a really good way to showcase the game. And honestly, not just for a few things, I think the game need to improve, and this is really what it's about. Talking about the things that actually need to be addressed in the game that could definitely be better. It's like a general thing of boxing games. Usually maybe it's something that's worth noting, but there seems to be a bit of an input lag, and there's like some, you'll throw the same punch twice because like the punch that you wanted to throw at the moment, they didn't throw it, and there won't be any stamina issues or anything. They've also recently added in where when you punch the same punch over again, you'll get arm fatigue and you won't be able to throw the same punch. I noticed you could like spaz punches out. So I think adding that in will probably help that a little bit. All right, my camera set up, it crashed. Like software, bad, no good. Basically, all right. So let's try to get back to where I was. I don't know where I was. I think I said enough about that. I don't even know where I left off or what I'm gonna do in editing, but hopefully it'll be all right. Let's talk about this. Okay, straight up. Listen, you can feel how you feel about this one. I don't think Deontay Wilder is very good at blocking his head in real life. I don't think so. That's accurate. But it's a video game, dog. If there's a head block, it should block head, even if he don't block his head. Because the nigga don't block his head. I have played as Deontay Wilder and I have played against Deontay Wilder. The left side of his head is easy fucking hunting. You can destroy the left side of his head, no problem. And he's a big dude who barely leans, so you can't even lean out of the strikes. You can obliterate Deontay Wilder. I don't know if this is something they've addressed online or if someone else addressed it. Man don't block his head. I think they might have added something to where he blocks more sometimes, but when I first played as him, man didn't block his head at all. And then when I played the next time playing against him, he barely blocked his head at all. The left side of his face was just easy, man. Gotta fix that. Another motion of leaning. Leaning is stiff. You can lean a bit more when you're not blocking. I didn't realize that till a little bit later, but it's still the fact is if you're being someone like Roy Jones Jr. or Bud Crawford, they should be able to lean back faster and further, have a wider range of motion to their leaning. The leaning is just like it has some good stuff if you chain it right and if you dodge certain punches and stuff, but they don't lean enough in each direction. And professional boxers are definitely have a way, a very large range of mobility, very, very high core strength. They can definitely lean and move a lot better than what they do in the game. A little bit stiff. There are some strikes in the game that don't look right. They look like arm punches. They kind of just look like the hand is flopping out. A lot of the punches do look good, but sometimes it'll be the uppercuts where it just looks like someone just lifting their arm up and not turning their hips at all. I don't know if the developers know this, but that's like a part of throwing a punch is turning your hips and moving your legs with it. I get it if Deontay Wilder is not doing this because he doesn't really turn his hips too much. He is an arm puncher, but most fighters don't do that. If you're a professional boxer, there's a 99.9% chance you're not just using your arms to throw a punch. You're also using your waist, your hips to turn into it and actually do damage with the punches and put your body into it. Puts people down a lot better. Work on making more of the punches actually feel like they're coming from a boxer and not just kind of a flaily flicky thingy that doesn't even fucking matter. So I made the comment about on here basically where it's like I feel like less work went into the women's. I feel like there are just a lot of weird little things as far as just like the sizing of everything. I just feel like they didn't put as much work into the women's. They were probably, I don't know if it was an afterthought or they're just not really working that hard on it. And yeah, I mean, the women don't look as accurate to how they are. The sizing of the shorts and gloves and everything isn't as accurate. Yeah, there's not as much work went into the women, which, feel how you feel about that. But I think they should look how they look and be represented how they look. I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking crazy. I don't fucking know. All right, so I wanted to talk about the face ripples again because I think it's good that they're there, but they're a little bit too much. If you punch somebody in the face, it's like a freaking, like a hole. It's like water. It's like the skin is a little bit too fluid and loose. Like the ripple goes through the whole face, and it's just a little bit too prevalent in this game. I feel like the effect needs to be toned down. Same with the body shots. It's a little bit too much. You see, if like Tyson Fury gets hit in the gut, it's gonna make that fucking whipping wave because he has a bunch of fat in his gut. But someone like Muhammad Ali or Bud Crawford, it's not gonna happen to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a lot less fat in their body. They're a lot more ripped. It's not gonna be this big, huge waving ripple. There's nothing to ripple like that. It's fat in the body that does it, and it's cool if it shows up for the body, but I think it should be toned down quite a lot. It's a little bit too much. There is such a thing as an inside fighter. You can't do much inside fighting on this game, because if you throw a punch at somebody, especially if it's not a jab, you have the chance where your arm will just go completely around the guy, or the shot will just be completely inaccurate, and that doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm sorry. If I have to throw a hook at someone who's further away from me, I'm gonna extend my hand and throw the punch. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I make a boxing game and completely negate an entire fighting style. People fight on the inside. People throw punches that are in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you heard of the peekaboo style by Mike Tyson? Well, he didn't create it, but he made it famous. Yeah, you got people like that who like to get inside and throw punches and throw short. You have to add inside punches, because when you punch on the inside, they just overthrow it and loop around him. Your hands get caught in their gloves. It's really wonky. It makes the game look bad. Add more inside punching, because that's real. It's not like a request or something. It's like, that needs to happen. The AI is OP. Alright, I'm just gonna fucking say it. I'm not that good at the game, but man, every punch you fucking throw, they counter it. Every fucking punch, it's like they know what's going on, and the progression from the intermediate to the undisputed, it doesn't make any sense. It goes from the easy AI is like boxing a toddler that doesn't know how to block, and then you go from intermediate and it's God mode. It's ridiculous. They don't run out of stamina. They counter every fucking strike you mess up on. They can damn near predict most of your punches. It just seems a bit OP. You can call me a bitch, that's fine, I don't care, but I think it's not right. That's how I feel, okay? Get over it. Okay, this is an important one. You listening? I'm gonna wait for you to fucking listen. The get up animation when you get knocked down is fucking stupid. It's unnatural. You have to hold both the triggers while both of the things are moving. I fucking hate this. I hate it. Fight Night was hard enough. The reality of getting knocked down in these fighting games is that you don't want to get knocked down 3 times, because the 3rd time you're probably not going to get up. So you should just make it to where you can get up, but just not make it super easy. If you don't want to come up with your own concept, Fight Night is out. You're already making this game because Fight Night isn't here. You might as well provide some things that Fight Night provided, because honestly, the get up system is stupid. It's insanely unnatural. It's insanely unnatural and way too hard. Those slider bars are going crazy. Like, I understand it should be a challenge to get up, but the thing is, most people are gonna get up anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a video game. Just make it a little bit easier. It doesn't need to be so easy to where you can get up every time in 4 seconds, but make something that's at least natural to what humanity is. Like, that isn't, what does the triggers have to do with getting up? On Fight Night, you had to move two like things together because you got knocked down, your vision's blurred. It makes sense. This shit makes, what am I doing with the trick? That is not immersive. It doesn't make any sense. It's bad. I don't think it's good. I don't think anyone's gonna like this shit. I think the stamina consumption needs to be adjusted, because people get adrenaline rushes during success, not just when they're red and you're gonna knock them down. That little blue lightning thing comes up. I'm talking about in general. If someone lands 4 punches on someone's guard versus if someone lands 4 punches on someone's face, the stamina consumption, from what I've noticed, is it's the same. When you're landing successful strikes, you don't feel that stamina as much, and and you're not going to be expending as much stamina, because you're actually going to be transferring the energy over into something more instead of just getting it stopped by the guard. The sounds of the punches are good. They're good. They're okay. But the needs improvement is like, they sound a little cartoony, and there's not very many sounds. They could add a wider range of more crisper, more true to life not so exaggerated sounds. The blood looks painted on. It looks really weird. It looks painted on. It looks like it's a skin or something. Like it's not like actually on them, or you can see, like you can actually see the texture of the blood. It looks like it's just kind of a flat surface on your face. It's not very good. The faces get very red, and that's an interesting feature. Another thing, it's a very interesting feature, but just the face gets red. If the face is going to get red, the body needs to get red. Lastly, just some bonus things I think they should add, which might be a nice addition. Things that I'm putting at the end of the video because they don't matter as much. I think there should be action replays of the knockdowns. Am I right? You knock a motherfucker down, what do you expect? You expect to see it right back in slow motion, show you a couple times. That's cool. Even when I get fucked up, I want to see the replay. Shit's cool, especially if it looks good, it's realistic, and makes sense. I think they're not proud of their face ripple, so the slow-mo face ripple looks really bad probably. Highlights of the fight when it's done. It'd be cool to see some highlights, some key moments, some moments where you put somebody on skates, or if you hit a nice 2 or 3 piece combo or something, hit a nice hard shot counter, like put into where when you hit certain combos and you do certain things that are actually impressive, they save like a little temporary clip for you to see at the end of the fight. That'd be cool. It'd add some atmosphere to it. Have something to look at the end of the fight besides just the punch numbers. I'm sure this will probably be something they're going to add in anyway, so this is also why it's in this part, but adding more like trunks and gloves and different colors and different styles, because people will have like their signature kind of style and look, but there's different trunks, there's different gloves. I think that'd be unique, because Fight Night didn't do that. Fight Night gave you the fighters at once, so y'all can be really putting yourselves out there as doing some different type shit, and you can have people change their trunks and their gloves. Also give y'all more revenue opportunities. If the fighters want to have different fucking sponsorships on their shorts, y'all can get that money for the sponsorships too. Not sure how it works, but it could work like that. And based on my knowledge that I have in my head that isn't knowledge, which is actually a logical fallacy, I think it should work. So it's gonna work. So try it out. Do it. We're gonna like it. I think it'd be cool if they had like a street fighting mode where you can like fight with like a backyard thing, or like different kind of street, different venues, to where you can just like box people with either bare hands or just wraps. And the career mode, I know there's gonna be a career mode. I'm aware of that, but just listen up. There's some things you got to keep in mind when doing this shit. There's some different shit you niggas are doing that's really good. So let's keep it going. That's how every single career mode, NHL, baseball, basketball, NFL, FIFA, all these games, you play a whole season on your character's mode and you look the same. You get drafted at 18 years old or 19 or 20 years old, and then you retire at 42 and you look the same. Have an aging system. That'll be different. As you get bigger, you could have more customization into your career, like calling out fighters and being able to pick your brand endorsements and deals and realistic interactions with other boxers and fans, and that actually means something. And have events in the game, if they're going to be there, that actually mean something, that actually progress your character, that maybe someone will remember. Have you be able to make decisions that other boxers will remember, the commission and the actual people who set up the fights will remember. Having actual meaningful interactions that matter. Doing fun shit like calling out a troll to the fucking gym to fight him, and doing interesting things. Like, I feel like the career modes for a lot of games, it's either not enough is happening, or it's like 2K where they're trying to do everything except for focus on the actual game, and then also squeezing in advertisements while you're watching. So that's a little bit wild, don't you think? All right, that's basically it. That's like the whole, like, what I think about the game. Overall, if I were to give this game a 10-star rating, I'd probably give it like a 6.5 or a 7, because a lot of my problems with the game are solely focused around trying to make this like a realistic boxing game, and I would have rather nitpicked other things versus the core like fundamentals of the game. But there are still a lot of good things in the game itself. The game is $30 on Steam. Is it worth $30? And I say this at last video so I can bitch without people clicking off immediately. There are a lot of games on Steam, and I feel like a lot of them, maybe most of them, are early access. There are some games that are worth the price. Is it worth $30? If you fucking love boxing and you want to play a new boxing game, yeah, I guess it is worth it. Because money, it means whatever it means to you. I felt it was worth the $30 because I wanted to make a video about it, and I like boxing. I wanted to play it. So it's up to you if it's worth the $30 or not. One thing I did put into consideration when I thought about this, because one, I can say, is it worth the money after I purchased it? That's why I bought it too, so I can say it. I don't want to seem like I'm not buying the game for $30 because I'm a broke bitch. which I kind of am, but that's not the reason. You know, like I'm not buying it because of it's $30 is a lot of money to me. I'm factoring this in thinking like I have some early access games that I've purchased for $20 to $30, and they have a lot more content. I got them on sale while they were in early access, so it justified the purchase. I feel like if you are a boxing like casual fan and you want to play the best of the best boxing game with the most in it, I'm gonna be real with you. You want to play boxing game with the best like animations and feel to it, you need to play Fight Night Round 3 on a PlayStation 2 emulator, or you need to get Fight Night Champion, because those are the best boxing games right now. But right now this game is not done. They have a lot of work to do. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it to, if the game is worth that money, if you have the money to spend and it's not a lot of money to use, spend it. If you feel it's not worth it, don't. I think with the standard being what it is for early access gaming, they don't have enough to sell it for $30 because the game isn't done. So you're not even getting half the game. You're paying for half the game. And I understand it's supposed to be, you know, you're putting your money in now so that when it is $60 later, you already have it, and that's cool. But they should adjust the price until then. I think it should be $20, and I think that the game will move a lot when it goes on sale. And I think a lot of other games that are at the same price point have a lot more to offer. So I feel like it's reasonable to say that, yeah, they should probably sell it for like $20, and they're probably going to sell a lot more copies when it is on sale for something cheaper. That's my 2 cents about it. Thank you for watching. This is not my normal style of content. I usually make like funny gaming videos, just like not talking over the gameplay. So if you enjoyed this, you might not enjoy the rest of my channel. But and before you leave, if you haven't already, if you've made it this far, you're a fucking gangster, bro. I fuck with you. Check out my description. Yeah, here, I'm gonna beg now. Get ready. So check out my description. I have my Discord link there. It's pretty dead right now, but I'm trying to grow it. I have a multi-link to my music and other pages, other stuff you want to check out by me. And I would be greatly appreciative. Great appreciations will go to you if you are able to click the subscribe and the like button. If you can't, it's cool, but I'm gonna bring it up because why not? So I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with the rest of mine. Yeah, bye.